on YouTube. Good morning, everyone. Let's start our conversation here on Talk and Talk, and let's start to introduce ourselves. Rosalia, can you start, please?
Okay, for sure. I'm Rosalia. Good morning, everybody. I'm Rosalia. I'm 56 years old. I'm living in Joinville, Santa Catarina. I'm married. I have two children. In my free time, I like to follow some series. I like following Turkish series. I love it. And now we are following another VIX. VIX. We stay a long time without start because I think I wouldn't uh, like, but now you are addicted, my husband and now. And now we are finished. I love it. And I like to go to walk, to spend time with my mother, take a coffee with her, and that's it.
Nice, Rosalia. Thank you. I forgot your name, iPhone 11. So sorry. My memory
Anderson.
is terrible. Anderson, thank you. Can
Anderson,
you? Thank you,
okay, no
Anderson.
problem. My name is Anderson, not name iPhone 11. uh, I'm married. I live in Ponta Grossa, Paraná. Live in Ponta Grossa in Paraná, and I years uh, six six no sorry I years 46 years old. I I'm married. I have three children, and one boy and two girls, uh, two daughters. I have two dogs, two pets, and Kelly and Kitty. And I work factory in the asphalt a long time, and I like to soccer, running, rather running every day. But today I I know running, and just it.
Thank you, Anderson. Good morning, Clinton. How are you?
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Sorry, sorry for the delay.
Not a problem. Can you introduce yourself?
Okay. Hello again. My name is Clinton Brito. I'm 31 years old. I live in Aracaju. I'm married. I have four pets. Um, and I'm a software engineer. Um, I In my free time, I like to stay home, watch films, TV series, live sports, and I also like to practice sports. And yeah, mm, this is my 17th immersion here at Talk and Talk. Almost 2 months here.
Nice, Clinton. That's nice. Well, I'm Aline. I'm living here at São Miguel dos Milagres. I have six cats. I'm a product manager. I'm working the Boticário company. I'm married with Luma, my wife. And nowadays, I'm doing exercise that I'm loving. I'm doing classes of fit dance with the ladies of the old ladies of my city. So it's very nice. I'm going every day, and we dance, and I know all the things that are happening here in my village. It's a very nice moment with my community here. Well, let's talk about. life after pandemic, reflecting on change and adaptations. Let me put here on the chat again, because Clinton arrived. And let me put the expressions here too. Okay. Can you read the first one, Anderson? Anderson, are you here?
Okay. Turn off my microphone because I driving. Sorry, but I stopped in early. No, and also the pandemic. Sorry,
Yeah.
question.
Question
The
number
question is
one. Do you wanna that I
number one.
read that question for you because you're driving? I can do that if it's more safe
Okay,
for you.
no
Uh,
problem.
no, I'm worried
Acostuma.
about. Let me
Uh,
read the question number one. Where were you when the pandemic started, and how did you initially affect your daily life? Oh my God.
oh my God. Affect every affect every a lot my day after the pandemic. Uh, Change very uh, very mudou muitas coisas, né? I don't know coisa in English, but uh, every assim, a lot of uh, meetings online, video conferência every day, and assim, uh, very uh, just work alone in home office. I I work a home office because the use the mask and the não podia confinado. Just change very thing in my life after the pandemic. Understand?
Yes, yeah. Everything changing in our lives was a difficult time for
Yeah,
everyone.
everyone.
Yeah. Uh, and for you, Rosalia, how was your time on pandemic and where you are?
I remember at the beginning we were in my city. Then when we received the news that it was changed, I think at the beginning everybody think it was only be 1 or 2 weeks. Then at the beginning it's okay, but when we realize that with the change is so quick, you need to start to change something to adapt. Then it was not easier, but you need to adapt it to create new rooms. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of adaptation for us. And for you, Clinton, where you are, where you was.
Um, I remember when I first heard about the pandemic, I was at it was Carnival. So I remember I was traveling and in almost in the end of this travel, I heard about what was happening in Europe, especially and Asia. And at the time, I didn't think uh, it would come to Brazil, or as Rosalia said, uh, we think maybe it would um, occurs for only maybe 2, 4 weeks, and I wasn't worried about. So only after when it came to Brazil, we started to worry about really. So um, I came to home from this travel and worked a little bit at work on site, and only after a few days, I don't remember exactly when it happened to the cases started to rise in Brazil. And after this, everything completely changed. We started to work from home. And during this time, I remember we at at work started to take some shifts. We selected three people approximately to stay on site on the company in case of any client uh, would come by. And um, I remember the city was completely um, in a post-apocalyptic situation. Uh, in front of my previous workplace, it was a very traffic street, and there wasn't any car there, so it was very strange. I remember every time I was going to the work and I didn't see any cars there on the street. It was a little bit pretty much strange, but yeah, yeah, I remember a lot of my work routine because I worked a lot at that time, and every day I was going to work and start everything changed, and I start work from home, and it was very strange.
Yes. Well, I remember I was living at Recife. Was my last big carnival. I was in Olinda, partying hard in the middle of the street. It was so nice. And then 2 weeks after that, I think was, I remember the day was March 16 for me. I was in my second week in my new job, my first job in technology. And then the pandemic starts. I remember that I took my computer and my things of my new job, and I never go back there. Was hard for me. I was starting that position. I would like to stay more close of the persons of the work, but I couldn't. So I think I start to work remotely for the first time of my life, and so that's changed a lot for me because I'm working remotely until today, and it was a very hard moment. I think we live in a moment of uncertainty. I think. Well, for me, is that. Rosalia, can you read the second one, please?
Okay. How did you adapt it to the changes in your routine during the pandemic? Well, as I said at the beginning, I think everybody think it will be only some days. Then in this time, I was so adapted to stay at home because I was living, passing my days only with my husband because my children was at home. At the beginning, my son, I was used to see my son only uh, around 7 a.m. Then he leaves to go, used to go to work and return to home more or less 8 a.m. Then I was only always about to make a dinner, to have a dinner together. and spend my time with my husband doing the things only this. But when it started, everything has changed because I'm not working outside, but I was used to stay at home all the time. Then when I realized everybody was at home, my daughter in this time getting was married and getting divorced. Then I invited to stay with us at home. Then my daughter-in-law thinking starting the first day with my son because they wanted to stay separate. They wanted to stay together. Then she thinking to stay only one week, 2 week. Then one day realized it was at the home too. Then I was so tired because everything I was it was complicated for me because everybody was work at the home. In this time, my daughter is psychology. Then she starts to attend your patient at the home too, because in this time she had more or less one or two patients. Then need to have more. All your patients need to change. Then she was all the time in your room, my son in your room with my daughter-in-law, and I was there needed to do everything at home. I was there to wash, to cooking, and my life was, oh my gosh, everybody was working. Then now I'm so busy. It was terrible. Then you need to start to make some rules to follow because everybody needs to help me because my life has changed a lot. But it was a time so I think it was a good time because I started to have my new rules because I need to start new habits. I remember this time I start to I was in this time I start to learn English. I was at the beginning, but my everybody's returned to room. I need to left my computer in the other room because they needed to use. They wouldn't go to office. Then I stay a long time with our student because they needed to use my computer. Then when office get your computer for them, then it's okay. I start again. But it was a time that everything is changed, but the life for the people that are at home, the family, changed a lot too, because you need to have a new rules, need to start a new routine. But it's okay. You need to adapt everything. In this time, I remember that you need to lead with to deal with my daughter and your divorce because she get divorced at home. Everybody closed it, you lock down, need to adapt everything. But it was a time that to adapt it.
Oh, what's hard times for you? That was not easy, no.
But I think for every family, it was the same.
Yeah, for every family, we can go out to lunch in a restaurant, for example. Everything was made inside our house. Oh my God, how women suffer with that. Ah, Clinton, and for you, tell us how adapt to and change your routine during the pandemic.
And me,
Well,
as
as I think everyone of us started to work from home and adapted to new routines, started to worry about having a remote work setup, and started to having virtual meetings, and I remember I started to ride bicycle at this time and starting in this sport. I practiced cycling for almost 4 years, and it was because of the pandemic. I started to ride because it was a sport that I could practice alone, not needing anyone, and uh, I could uh, ride in desert space, so I didn't have to worry about traffic or people, contact with people. So actually, bicycles rose a lot in sales, and they started to be out of stock, and nobody could buy a new one during a specific time because there wasn't anyone in stocks anymore. And it took almost 2 years or more to normalize the stocks of bicycles, and the prices started to fall a little bit. So in this specific market, it was a terrific time for them. So they they earned a lot of money during this period. Uh,
Mm.
so yeah, I focus on practice sports, and um, I for me it wasn't so bad because it wasn't like Rosalia's daughter. I didn't get divorced with my wife, so it was okay for us. And specific about working routine, for me it was more difficult because um I like it to go to the office every day, and for us it was a little bit a bad time because although um, the money I worked in the financial markets at that time, so although it was a huge crisis for the financial markets, we had a lot of opportunities to um, have grow our clients, have more clients, because we have to adapt it really fast to this new routine and stay in contact with clients. And this approach of being close to our clients uh, make us grow, even though it was a pandemic time. So we grew our business during this time, and it wasn't so bad. But for me, my routine at work wasn't good. So I didn't like to work from home at that time because this job is much more about staying in contact with people. So if you can't have um, physical meetings, uh, it it was much worse to make new deals, to grow our clients list, and this was very difficult for us at that period. It's not like IT. You can work from home and it's okay. It's a different business. A lot of business couldn't work properly with people working from home.
Yeah, it was a hard times. Oh my God. Uh, Hello, Anderson. Now I see
Hello.
you. And for
Hello.
you, how you adapted and changed your routine during the pandemic?
But I adapted the to the change routine. In my routine, it start by setting up a home office and following a structured daily schedule with notebook and, and webcam, and I finding new ways to stay connected with my friends, and my family online, because my mother live in Rio Grande do Sul, Pelotas, and I'm living Paraná. Uh, because just my routine very adapted, because I was this this time I have two children, two children, just, and it is a little children. I is in the home every day, every week, every time, and this it's very adapted. But I use it um, a lot of online meetings with my family and friends in the church, uh, just online, and go let go in the marketplace. Very difficult because it's very impediments and very just alcohol gel in the hands, mask. But uh, I'm very difficult, but sobrevivemos, né? I don't know sobrevivemos in English, but just it.
Nice. So was a hard times for everyone. For me, I think I remember that I was doing crazy things like go to the supermarket at 3 a.m. because there is no one in the supermarket. So it's my time to go to the supermarket. And when it started, I have a visit in my house, a guest, and that guest was still passing 2 weeks on my house too, and then the pandemic start, and this guest doesn't go of my house, and it stay there for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. Oh my god, I had to faking that I was moving for my apartment, for a smaller apartment. So I'm moving to this smaller apartment, so we don't have a room for you there. I think you must search a house for yourself. And then I I remember that I get boxes in my house. Oh, these boxes for me to do the moving, but there is no moving. It's just acting for the guests to go out of my house, and it works. My strategy works. But I remember that we had to do a lot of adaptations. I think we are living in in the middle of the alcohol in gel was hard times. But and then that I was living at Recife for a while. I think I lived I don't know, some months in Recife. I realized that I was living in a box of concrete. Like, oh my God, so I don't want to live here. So I moved from the city that I live today. Today I live in by the beach on a little village. So this improved a lot of my quality of life. In Anderson, I think my mother lives in Pelotas too. Yeah. It's a huge coincidence.
Really? Oh, good notice.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the uh, what bairro in live in Pelotas?
Ah, she
I don't
lives
know.
outside, ou para fora, como se fala no Rio Grande do
Ah,
Sul, né?
rural
Yes.
in the
Live in the rural
country home.
countryside. Yeah, she lives on the
Cause,
countryside there.
ah, good, very good, very. Very nice.
Very nice.
I live in Pelotas every day, every years, and my living. I I I let's go Pelotas. Eu saí de Pelotas when I have 24 years old, and I have a 26 years. I stayed, I saí de Pelotas, Ernest. But
Nice. I never
once a
lived there.
year, I travel to Pelotas every
Me
year.
too. Me too. To
Okay,
go see my family. Nice.
legal.
Can you read the question number three, please, Anderson?
Okay, can you share any positive change your changes or habits you developed during in the pandemic? I don't know, for positive change or habits. I during the pandemic, I developed positive habits as regular exercise, practice exercise for uh, better health, for strong the pandemic. Cooking uh, healthier meats, meals, sorry, healthy meals, and talking time uh, for my family, and understand just eat uh, uh, in pandemics positive habit. The a lot assim, yes it sorry.
Nice. Can you answer this one for us too, Clinton?
Well, as I said before, during this period, I started to ride bicycle. So I've always been a sports person, but uh, previous pandemic, the pandemic, I was a little bit um, too lazy, maybe, but the work routine was so crazy that I wasn't um, practicing any sports at that time. And when the pandemic started, I decided to return to have a exercise routine, and cycling was a great sport because the reasons I said before. And yeah, this was a positive change during that period. And since then, I never really stopped at 100% to practice any sport or doing any exercise routine. So it's something I've been carrying since that period to today. Um, maybe this was the um, best habit um, I grew um, about that period. So I can't remember anything else that I could call a habit.
But it's a nice habit to do exercise. It's a good habit. It's enough. You don't you don't have to search another one.
It solves
So
a lot of problems.
and you, Rosalia?
I think in the pandemic, I had developed a lot of new habits. One, I think it was one of that I was so I remember that I was very concerned about everything at home in this moment because I think everything had to be in place and be clean because I thought that at any moment someone was go to my house, and I could receive a visitor, right? and and find my house in a mess. Then I always had it my have it my in my mind that everything needs to be in your right place, or I don't know. Then during the pandemic, no one visit anyone. Then I start to relax with that because everyone was at home, all my family. Then I need to relax more about it. And today I can be more in peace because if someone come to my house and find something messed, I don't worry so much about it. And I remember that in this time I start to learn a new language. I put it in my routine every day. I had a time to stay in the computer to learn because I was starting to learn English in this time. Then I make decision to start to learn Spanish and Italian too. Then every day I had my time there to learn, uh, and then it was so nice for me because I was at the beginning in entrando, I don't know, in this new world, new languages. It was amazing because I put in my routine. Then I start to 1 year, 2 years after this, I don't know. I find talk and talk. Then I start to make more friends here. Then I had a friend. She come to my house. I already knew her. Then it was amazing. I love it because we almost every day we meet together to learn to study. Yeah, to study Italian together. Then I think it was my new routine and new rules that I had make for me. My habits. I changed these habits. Yeah.
Nice, very nice. Well, for me, I started to do online classes of yoga. I buy a mat. I was doing my exercise. It was a very nice moment. And let me think about. And I start to cooking more. Of course, you don't have the option to cooking to eat outside of our house. So I think the way that I feed myself it's better today because the pandemic. I learn a lot of things, how to cook different kinds of dishes. And until today, I do some dishes that I learned at the time. And now I know how to do a quiche. Yes. Was nice. Well, I think we can skip the number 4 because we a lot of talk about of our works and how it's changed. Let's go to the number 5. Can you read this one for us, Clinton? The number 5, please.
What do you think are the long-term impacts of the pandemic on education and learning? Well, um, in 2020, companies started to um, hire a lot of software developers, software engineers to solve uh, for example, this kind of problem because people started to demand so much services, online services about education learning. For example, Zoom, this platform we're using right now. So it was different at that time, and it evolved a lot in every sector, IT in general, IT services, and not just in education and learning, in every sector, because everyone has to use basically their cell phones or having a computer to study or to work or to order food, order a lunch. And yeah, it was very important. It will be remembered in the future, maybe one of the most impactful period of technology, because this specific time was everything evolved so fast. It was almost a war effort. So during war periods, technology evolves a lot. Uh, and it was almost a war effort in terms of technology. So we wasn't at war. Maybe we was by against a virus. So uh, this kind of service improved so much. Yeah, I think that's it.
Right. And you, Anderson, do you have an opinion about that?
Uh, the long-term impact of the pandemic or education and learning include uh, uh, increased reliance on online learning tools. Zoom, remember Zoom? I don't know Zoom before the pandemic, but Zoom is very popular uh, popular applicative after the during the pandemic. Uh, I I I rate the emphasis only digital literacy and very a lot of uh, online and just it uh, most important for education during at now uh, uh, a meeting online, but I I agree. This is, I think so. Just
Thank you, Anderson. And you, Rosalia, you became a student in the
Yeah.
pandemic.
Yeah, I became a student during the pandemic is because the Zoom, because I've never had no knew a Zoom. But I think if the people be more aware about the how the benefits pandemic bring to us, it was amazing because if people enjoy more study together here, meet together, and make this meeting, I think it was the best thing that had changed it because you can learn a lot. You can choose what you are learning because you had more time to stay in front of computer. You can learn all the things through the internet. I don't know so much apps to enjoy, but the thing that I know, I try to know more and more to enjoy it. That because it was bring to us, you need to enjoy. And then I think if people enjoy know how to enjoy it, it's the best things are happened.
Totally. Well, for me, I was also a teacher at the time, and I was working in a startup of education. So I live different sides of this this question. And for me, that as a teacher was terrible. Oh my God, that was terrible, terrible, terrible. I was doing classes of practical classes of sewing because I am a fashion designer. So I was teaching the people how to sew through a screen. Was very, very difficult this moment for me. And at the startup that I worked it was a really good moment. We had a boom in our sales and was an amazing moment. But for the teachers, it's not an easy time. And after that I stopped to working as a teacher, and I thought, oh my God, this is not for me. I don't have the skills to be a teacher. And I give up of that thing in my life. Well, let me see. Rosalia, can you read the number 6 for us?
I sorry, number 6. How was your perspective on health and illness changed after the pandemic? Uh, After pandemic, I think the health. I don't know. During the pandemic, I had continued make my exercise to go out to walk or something like that because even though the news said that you need to stay all the time at home, it's impossible to to stay there. Then I had continued, but it's not. It was. So difficult. It's not easy because you need to start a new habits. You need to start a new paths to follow. But I think it's not so difficult. Sorry, guys. I'm thinking in goal to start my my immersion right now. I need to
Not a
go.
problem.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay, Rosalia, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Have a
I will
nice
go.
immersion.
Okay. Bye
Bye
bye.
Bye bye.
bye. Well, I think we already talked about this one. Let's change it. Let's choose another question. Let me see. Number 7. What do you think? Can you read the number 7
Okay,
for us, Anderson?
okay. For me, it's very no
Okay,
problem.
can you read the
7.
question for us? 7,
Okay.
yes.
What are some things you appreciate more now than before the pandemic? But, but I appreciate simple things more now. Stuck and spending time with loved ones, and enjoying nature and having a healthy routine. The make exercise every day or every week, and eat meals health. Understand? And just uh, I have this is very important for me this period. Okay.
Nice. I think for me was now I appreciate more the moments that I have contact with nature because I was living
Nature, né?
in an apartment in a big city, and then I moved to the beach to a little village. So I appreciated more these moments when I can see the sea, or when I can walk and see the coconut trees that I have here in my village. I think these are simple moments, but are very special for me. And for you,
Okay.
Clinton.
You said about appreciate more nature contact. And I remember I did a trip to Chapada Diamantina during the pandemic. So uh, it's a place that we hadn't toured much about having people around, and this was a great trip. So yeah, it's something I appreciate. Um, Not more than before the pandemic because I like it as much as before. So yeah, this kind of activities with nature, usually there aren't so many people around you, so uh, many people started to hiking or something like that during the pandemic, and it was a well, I don't know if I could say a good legacy, but maybe yes, of the pandemic, outdoor activities in general. So I love this kind of activities, although I barely make them. So um, I agree with you. Um, I don't know. I've um I've always been a person to like that like it to stay home, so it wasn't a thing for me having this changing routine, etc. Because I already kind of did in this way. Um, so it wasn't very traumatic for me, this new life routine. Um, of course, you have to adapt and um, started to worry about wear masks. Uh, Maybe this is a good legacy too about the pandemic. You see more frequently people in airports, for example, using wearing masks if they are a little bit uh, with a sore throat and etc. So it's nice to see this kind of concern in people in Western people because this already happened a lot in Asia, for example. So this kind of legacies, this I think it's good. Uh, it's more frequently to we have alcohol in your hands, so it's more difficult than before to get disease that are pretty easy to prevent. And yeah, there are good things about uh, I think it's greater today than it was before. Uh, but I think people are more um, um, the social gatherings is much worse today than before the pandemic. So we see less frequently people in general. We I don't know just how to say that, but we are more away from people in general, I think, and it's a consequence of the development of technology because technology it's more addictable than before the pandemic, in my opinion. So we are much more spending our time in front of screens than before the pandemic, in my opinion. I don't know. For sure, there are some studies that can um, say that. I didn't read anything about, but I think that is happening. So it's you just can't see what's happening with streaming services. They grew up so much since the pandemic, and if they grew up, it's because people are more uh, consuming their services. So, yeah, for me, this is a pretty downside of the pandemic.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being here, people. Let's see in the next time. Good
Thank
day and
you.
good
Bye
week.
bye.
Bye
Good
bye.
day.